Oh, hey there. So, I found a great place online where you can buy sausage. I'll send you a link. Now, today we did, it doesn't look like we did much, but we did quite a bit. So, there's what's called blocking. Okay, so whenever there's a corner, you want to have a place to nail your sheetrock. You have a place to nail your sheetrock. Same thing on an outside, so that's the inside corner. And then there's outside corners, right? So you have to have a place to nail your sheetrock and a place to nail your sheetrock. So we did that all the way around. It's kind of an add-on thing. And then on the ceiling, you have to have a place to nail a sheetrock as well. And so, like here, all the boards that go side to side, all the walls that go side to side, we have to put nailers on top of those. And that is kind of time consuming. And then we did blocking, which is at the top of the, OSB, we have to have blocking all the way around. So we did all that, and that's time consuming. We also got attic stairs done. And we got decking done. And then we kind of finished out a closet and some other little, here, oh, like the shower. See, we got the shower finished out, so that's good. And then we got an inspection, got our house wrap done, got our windows in, got our doors in, and we did siding on the biggest side of the house. Now, this reminds me that whenever we're doing a job, we like to do the hardest thing first, because if you start by doing the hardest thing, then everything else is going to feel easy after that. Also, if you start by doing the hardest thing, if you run out of steam, you're like, well, this is easier than what we've already dealt with. Now, I think that's a good rule across the board. Like, whatever the hardest thing is, you do that first. So we always put the roof on before we do the concrete, because the roof is really hard. Now, sometimes there's an order of things. Actually, we don't do that. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty hot from the heat stroke, and so actually we do the concrete first, which is pretty hard, and then we build up, and then we do the roof. So whatever the hardest thing is in each sequence that we can do first, the biggest part, the hardest part, we do that first, because it's important to do it that way. Now, this reminds me that years ago, 20 years ago, my mom was doing grants for different people, and there was somebody that was going to try to go to the North Pole, okay? I want to start by saying I do not like cold weather at all. And she said, my son does videography. Maybe he could film your expedition to the North Pole. And I was like this, absolutely. And here's why, okay? You might look at me and go, man, that guy doesn't have a nose because it froze off, or ears because they froze off, and I might be like, frostbite on the fingers, all the extremities. But years from now, I'd be sitting at some formal dinner somewhere, not enjoying the food because I don't like rich people food. And everybody else would be bragging about the different things that they did. They, had a cure for cancer, and they went to outer space, and they discovered, artifacts and things like that. Very important stuff. Maybe an app that everybody uses, and they're rich. And then they'd be like, John's awful quiet over there. And I'd just be chewing my food with my partial nose. And they go, what have you done? I'm like, oh, nothing. I filmed an expedition to the North Pole. And they'd all be like, you win. Because everything after that, no matter how cold it was, I'd be like, it's not as cold as the North Pole. It's not as cold as the North Pole. And that's pretty much what I've done with my life, is gone as extreme as possible so that everything else is like, meh, it's not that bad. People go, how can you tolerate so much? The answer is because I've tolerated so much more. Love you guys.